In less than 3 months, the world witnessed third big terror attack on a peaceful nation. After Pulwama and Christchurch terror attack, Sri Lanka also had to go through the same ordeal owing to fascist mindset that has emerged out of lunatic religious attitude. Talking about religious lunacy, Pakistan seems to have played the most important role in engineering the idea of Islamic fundamentalism, which is the driving force of terrorism. Attacks in Sri Lanka are a result of the same psychotic mindset which has largely emerged from the terror land Pakistan. The leaders all across the world are condemning the terrorist attack in unison and have expressed complete rejection towards tolerating terror activities and the nation who support terrorism on their land. A report.
The investigations into Sri Lanka blast are indicative of the fact that there were foreign links in the attack, as this could not have been done just locally. The involvement of Islamic State in the attack not only establishes the foreign connection, it also signals towards Pakistan's ISI that must have been in contact with the terrorists for the smooth execution of the attack. It is pertinent to mention here that no terrorism group operates in a vacuum, and each has some type of sponsor to help them stay funded and operational. In South Asia, Inter-Services Intelligence, or Pakistan's ISI, is the main organization that provides aids to the terror groups.
And the scale of these attacks, shows that the militant organization must have been backed by some intelligence agencies. Without the support of some intelligence agencies, such a big operation is not possible. So they must have done recce, they must have done minute-to-minute support. Militant must be getting, and that's how. It's not easy to obtain RDX or other explosives which were managed by them. So it must be organized or helped by some foreign agency. So therefore, I believe this agency must be the ISI. No other agency in the world has such expertise, because we have seen similar attacks in Afghanistan also, which were backed by Pakistani intelligence agency, or in Bombay, or in number of other places in India.
Each group is driven by a perverted ideology that motivates their actions and members. For Al-Qaeda, which is a Pakistan-based terrorist group, it was to push the infidels out of Muslim countries and the broader world. ISIS wants to establish a caliphate, an Islamic State, but with its defeat in Syria, it appears to be filling the void that Al-Qaeda has left vacant.
Yes, radical Islamist terror remains a threat. The President's been very clear about that. I think I've been very clear about that. We are continuing to do real work against these evil human beings that went into places of worship on Easter Sunday. We've taken that threat down substantially. The destruction of the caliphate was important, and it mattered, and the takedown of these threats from other geographies as well. But sadly, this evil exists in the world, and the United States and all of its partners that are cooperating in the de-ISIS campaign, some 80 countries, and other nations too that are assisting us in defeating this terrorism around the world. We have to remain active and vigilant, and it's going to require attention. There's no doubt about that.
As the Sri Lanka terror attack is an attack on humanity, the world leaders have come together to condemn the heinous attack in one tone. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi condemned the Easter Sunday bomb blast as he ridiculed the entire idea of terrorism that has become a terrifying factor for the entire world and especially South Asia.
आतंकवाद कितना भयंकर है, हर दिन दुनिया में कहीं न कहीं धरती को खून के रंग सा रंग दिया जाता है। आज श्रीलंका में जो कुछ भी हुआ है, श्रीलंका वासियों के प्रति भारत पूरी मजबूती के साथ खड़ा है। ऐसी संकट की घड़ी में भारत श्रीलंका की जो भी मदद कर सकता है, हर मदद के लिए तैयार है।
While speaking to a reporter at the annual Children's Easter Egg Roll event, US President Donald Trump described the Easter attack on churches and hotels in Sri Lanka as a terrible thing. He also informed that he had spoken with Sri Lankan Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe to offer the condolences to the United States government.
Terrible thing. Get out, Steve. For a long time, a lot of people don't want to talk about it. It's a terrible thing. I just spoke with the Prime Minister. I spoke with the various government officials that we are working with Sri Lanka. But that's a terrible thing.
As one Japanese resident has also lost his life in the deadly attack, Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe also offered his condolences to the victims of the bomb blasts, and along with Japan, the Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison also condemned the horrific attack and offered heartfelt sympathy and support for the Asian nation.
Australian government condemn these further terrorist attacks that we've seen. Bombings in Sri Lanka of Christians as they went to worship on Easter Sunday. Bombings in hotels, all coordinated as part of a deadly terrorist attack. Sri Lanka hasn't seen this form of violence since 2009 when the hostilities ceased in that country. And to the beautiful people of Sri Lanka, Australia sends its heartfelt sympathies and our prayers and our support, and our offer to do whatever we can to support you in this terrible time of need. As the day passes and the night passes and we move into the next few days, I'm sure the information will become even more sickeningly real, and the devastating nature of this horrific attack on innocent lives simply going about their day, going to worship on the holiest of days on the Christian calendar, is just absolutely devastating.
200名の方がお亡くなりになられた。法人の方も1名お亡くなりになられました。深い悲しみを覚えると同時に強い憤りを感じます。一生となられた方のご冥福をお祈りすると同時にご遺族の皆様に哀悼の意を表したいと思います。そしてすべての負傷者の皆様にお見舞いを申し上げます。このようなテロは断じて許すことはできません。強く非難いたします。
There have been times when terrorism, driven by Islamic radicalism, has taken its worst shape in order to hurt humanity. The Easter Sunday terror attack is the latest manifestation of this murderous ideology, which only aims at eradicating peace and humanity from the world.